Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Jackson's Forever channel. And today we're going to have an intriguing topic. I want to understand why Teddy Riley didn't produce any songs on Michael Jackson's 1995 album History. So, if you're a fan of Michael Jackson or Teddy Riley, you're in for a treat. So, we're going to dive straight into it. Now, to understand the story of the absence of Teddy on History, we need to go back a bit. So, after the successful collaboration of the 1991 Dangerous album, fans were eagerly expecting and waiting for the next project to get it, especially myself, massive Teddy Riley fan, a massive Michael Jackson fan. In 1993, the wheels were in motion for the new album. Michael Jackson invited Teddy Riley and his entire production crew from New York to Virginia Beach, and among them was a 16-year-old Rodney Jerkins. And in my interview with Rodney Jerkins on Halftime Chat, he said how that night Teddy just said, "Everyone, get in the van. We've got two vans. We're all driving to New York." Didn't say where or for what was going on. Halfway through the journey, Teddy turned to him and says, "We just got a call from Michael. We're working on his new album, and we can't wait to start on it." So the entire crew from Future Recordings moved down to New York, including Blackstreet, who were just releasing their first album. A Little, Dave Hollister, Chance Black, and Teddy Riley, of course, were in the group. Now, the first track they were called to work on was for the upcoming Addams Family movie, and they had a track that Teddy worked on called Family Thing. Now, after interviewing Sprague Doogie, he said it was an amazing track. It was awesome. Michael's vocals, Teddy's production, it was going to be a massive hit, massive hit. In fact, we've got a little sample of how the song was to be, but not to its fullest. Now, Teddy had received Michael's vocals. They're about to get ready to release it, and then trouble strikes.
There have been many disgusting statements made recently concerning allegations of improper conduct on my part. These statements about me are totally false. As I have maintained from the very beginning, I am hoping for a speedy end to this horrifying experience to which I have been subjected. I shall not in this statement respond.
Just as the family thing was just about to finish up and about to be released, trouble starts. Michael Jackson gets accused of assaults against a minor, Joey Chandler. It was national news. Actually, it was worldwide news. They go to Michael's house. They search. They get a warrant. Michael's humiliated. Everything associated with Michael Jackson becomes poison. The studio says, we just can't wait for that. They quickly drafted in MC Hammer, and MC Hammer had to quickly put together something called Adam's Family Groove. Wasn't a great track, but it was rushed, and so you can understand why it wasn't as good, because he was just called in the last minute to get the song completed. All the works that Teddy and Blackstreet and the crew, future crew, were doing for Michael, they had to stop, because now Michael was in the biggest case of his life. He was facing jail. He was facing a massive trial. And so what Michael ended up doing is settling the case out of court, paying 25 million, and then going away on a retreat just to try and clear his mind. But at the same time, while this was going on, Teddy with Blackstreet were already making some mute noise. Before I Let You Go, Booty Call, Joy, It's a Physical Thing. All these tracks, Tonight's the Night, were starting to do well. And so Teddy saw that this is a good opportunity to really spend a lot more time and energy with Blackstreet. And at the same time, they also got a lot of support and encouragement from Interscope. And so Jimmy Iovine really put a lot of money into Teddy's hands. Okay, look, this is a beautiful album. You guys did well. Went double platinum. Some good singles. Let's work on this follow-up. Now, at the same time, they were looking to work on the follow-up. Here comes Michael, taking a year off, trying to recover from the ordeal of the trial. He comes back to Teddy, says, "Okay, we've spent some money, made some tracks. Can we go back to the studio?" Now, Teddy knows when you're working with Michael, it is a year and a half, sometimes 2 years of your time just making songs, making tracks. And Michael isn't easy to record with because he's a perfectionist and he wants it done right. So he had to balance it out. Do I spend the next year and a half working with Michael on this album, or do I just continue the momentum we've got with Blackstreet? Plus, they've been getting an advance from Interscope to work on the second album. So at that time, unfortunately for us, Teddy fans and Michael fans, that Teddy wasn't able to do any work on History. And so Michael reached out to Jimmy Lamb and Terry Lewis, reached out to R. Kelly, and a number of other producers to work on History album. To my disappointment, I only found that out when I bought the album and I looked through and I did see Teddy, and I was quite disappointed. And History was mixed reviews. I mean, it didn't do well in the US, did well internationally, but not in the US. It did, however, set some records. When Scream came out, it was the first album, the single with Janet Jackson, debuted on the Billboard 100 at number 5, and that at the time was a record, the highest charting debut single. That was coupled with You Are Not Alone, the song written and produced by R. Kelly. That track debuted at number 1. It was first time in Billboard's history that a song went straight to the charts at number 1. And once you're the first to get to number 1, doesn't matter what anyone else does, that record would never be broken. And so, yes, the album didn't do well in the US. It had a few hits, it had a few singles, did well internationally. When we think of songs like Earth Song, powerful song about the environment. And back in 95 when it was released, I mean, we weren't too much clued up with global warming and things like that. But now that song speaks volumes about what we're facing. Stranger in Moscow was another one that wasn't too bad. But all in all, as I said, the album did much better in Europe, where Michael just toured. And that was actually the last time Michael did a tour on US soil after the Dangerous album. So that's why Teddy did not feature on Michael Jackson's History album. We later saw Teddy and Michael collaborate on the History in the Mix, the Blood on the Dance Floor, but those were old tracks, Blood on the Dance Floor and also Ghost. Those were old tracks that they did for during the after Dangerous, but also during that time when Michael and Teddy were working on tracks. Those were tracks that they produced at that time, and Teddy wanted to update them in '97, but Michael says no, no, they're just fine as they are. But the next time Teddy and Michael did come together was when the Invincible album was worked on. And that's a whole nother story because Rodney Jerkins was given sole producer credit on that album. Things happened and Teddy was drafted in, but we'll cover that in another video. Let me know what you think. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And who knows, we may get more and more interesting secrets between Michael, Janet, the Jackson 5, and the whole family. Take care.